Kia ora, ko Sharon Holt tōku ingoa. Today we're going to talk about the Māori timeline. So we're going to be learning about the words for today, tomorrow, yesterday, the day before yesterday, the day after tomorrow, next week, last week, and how to use a few of them in a sentence. So let's give that a try. So we can divide our time into what's happening now, the future, and the past. So wā tū is the time that we're in right now, the time that we're standing in. Wā heke is the time coming, the future, and wā mua is the time that's been behind us, wā mua, the past. Okay, so that's the three categories. Today, the day actually that I'm on today is Sunday. And in Te Reo, the word for Sunday is rā tapu. So rā tapu is the word for Sunday. And you could also talk about now. So now is a really cool word. I really like this word. Inaya nei. And I'd like you to copy when I'm saying some of these words to practice your pronunciation out loud if you need to do that. Inaya nei. Inaya nei. Inaya nei. And that's a really nice word for now. I think so anyway. Let's look about the future. So when today is Sunday, then the days coming up are rā hina, rā tū, rā apa, and that's mane, ture, wenere. So it doesn't matter which version of the Māori the Māori days of the week you use, but that's the ones for the ones starting with the rā, the word for day, rā hina, rā tū, rā apa, mane, ture, wenere. So when it's Sunday like it is today, the next day, as in tomorrow, is a pōpō. So a pōpō, lots of macrons here, so that all these three syllables have to be pronounced just as, given as much emphasis as each other. A pōpō. And that's a lovely word, and that's the word you've probably heard of before, and that's the word meaning tomorrow. A pōpō. There's actually a word for the day after tomorrow as well. So the day after tomorrow, looking at the emphasis of the macrons again, a tahi rā. So this one and this one both have to have the same amount of emphasis. A tahi rā. A tahi rā is the day after tomorrow. So in this case, because it's Sunday today, Tuesday is the day after tomorrow. So a tahi rā. Let's look about the ones in the past. So the day that we had before this one is Saturday, rā horoi or hātare, and that's in English obviously yesterday. So in Te Reo, inanahi. Inanahi, yesterday, inanahi. And then there's a word for the day before yesterday. The day before yesterday, because it's Sunday now, was Friday. Rā mere or paraire. Rā mere, paraire. And so the day before yesterday has a lot of similarities with the day after tomorrow. So remember the day after tomorrow, a tahi rā. The day before yesterday, I nā tahi rā. I nā tahi rā. I nā tahi rā. And the only other day that we've got to talk about for before, the days that have gone before here, we haven't said the word for Thursday. So that's rā pare taite. Two different words for Thursday. So if you're thinking about how to say some of these in a sentence, I'll give you a bit of a help with that. Okay, so let's talk about wā heke, the future. So in the future, te rā wiki, next week, te rā wiki. That means next week, because this is about the future. That's that thing over there, and that's week. So in the future, that week over there, next week is the literal translation. Te rā wiki, one thing we could do is practice where we're going and where we've been in Te Reo. So te rā wiki, especially if you're someone like me who travels a lot. Te rā wiki, normally you would say ka after that, to do with the future. Te rā wiki, ka haere o, I am going. Te rā wiki, ka haere o ki o pōtiki. O pōtiki. Next week I'm going to Opotiki. Te rā wiki ka haere au ki Opotiki. So if you aren't going to a different place next week, maybe you could think of something you're going to do, find the Māori words for that. If it's to work, you could just say te rā wiki ka haere au ki te mahi, to work. Te rā wiki ka haere au ki te toa, to the shop. You could say pōpō ka haere au ki te toa. Tomorrow I'm going to the shop. So let's talk a little bit about what we would say for the past. That's I te rā wiki. So not very much difference from te rā wiki. Future, past. I te rā wiki, and then this changes as well. So that's ka, and this is I because it's the past. I te rā wiki, I haere au, which means I went, because it's going, but I've already done it. I te rā wiki, I haere au, last week I went to Tauranga. Last week I went to Tauranga. You could say, this is yesterday. I ngā nahi, I haere au ki, yesterday I went to Hamilton. I ngā nahi, I haere au ki Kirikiriroa. And then if I could remember where I went the day before yesterday, I would tell you that. And so you can use some of these words to talk about places that you've been and places that you're going, or things that you're going to. So what about I te rā wiki, I haere au ki tātahi. So that would mean last week I went to the beach. So you can think of lots of ways of doing it. Ki te kura, ki te kohanga reo, ki te wherever you've gone. Ki te whare hei hei, to the hen house, wherever you've been. Yesterday you might have gone to the hen house. What about that? I ngā nahi, I haere au ki te whare hei hei. Yesterday I went to the hen house.